CEO Mark Zuckerberg announcing today the company's new corporate name will be Meta.
Officially changing its corporate name to Meta.
I believe the metaverse is the next chapter for the internet.
So Facebook has changed its name to Meta because it's going all in on the metaverse. What fresh hell is the metaverse, asks literally everyone. Well, it's your new virtual reality second life, so you can escape the dystopian real world where you can't afford to buy a home or pay off your debts, but you can ignore all of that in some alternate for-profit fantasy land, just like in Ready Player One. And me? I'm a software developer with over 2 decades in tech, but lately I'm getting doom-pilled on the industry. From big tech censorship, to the end of privacy, to dystopian VR algorithms being shoved down our throats by Silicon Valley elites, I've had enough. So I call myself Techphobe here on YouTube, where I call out problems with my industry and I teach you how to protect yourself. So hit like, hit subscribe, and turn on your notifications because I wouldn't want you to miss an episode. All right, here we go. Zuckerberg's metaverse will invade workers' privacy, Whistleblower says. Meta's workplace metaverse could force more people to hand over more data. So last month, a former project manager at Facebook named Frances Hogan leaked a bunch of documents, and she made the news claiming that Facebook is tearing our societies apart. Yesterday, Hogan was in Brussels speaking before the European Parliament. Her comments and question and answer session lasted nearly 3 hours. In her remarks, she warned that Facebook excels at dancing with data, and she encouraged lawmakers to ask Facebook for details about any data they receive from the company, including exactly how it was obtained. She voiced concerns that Facebook/Meta-owned metaverse will only supercharge problems that exist on the company's current platforms. Virtual environments of the kind Zuckerberg is proposing have the potential to be extremely addictive, and they encourage people to unplug from the reality we actually live in, she told the Associated Press. She's also worried that Facebook/Meta's push into the workplace will give people no choice but to hand over more personal data to the company. In the case of workplaces, we don't get to choose to be in those spaces, she said. If your employer decides they're now a metaverse company, you now have to give out way more personal data to a company that has demonstrated that it lies whenever it's in its best interest. The fact that Facebook/Meta would launch a major initiative in the midst of a company-wide crisis is emblematic of how the company approaches problems, she said. It would rather move on than fix its existing products. A bunch of us in the tech industry actually think that Facebook is showing signs that it's dying, and we suspect that this meta shift might be a desperate pivot in order to stay relevant. A recent Pew Research study shows that social media in general has not shown much growth since 2019, while Snapchat and TikTok are cutting into Instagram's numbers with people under 30. Now, while I like that Hogan is shining a spotlight on Facebook and social media, she doesn't really go into specific details about how Metaverse can attack your privacy. And to be fair, Metaverse is still under development, so we can't really say for sure anyway. But I do want to talk about some of the ways that Metaverse could be a threat to you. According to 2 different experts, Meta will have more access to your data than Facebook ever did. Imagine having your eye movements tracked, right down to the items in a shop that your eyes lingered on for a microsecond too long, or your breathing changed the minute you saw something that caught your eyes. Meta will know what your favorite virtual locations are, what time you like visiting them, what items you look for when shopping, and what kinds of virtual activities you like doing with your friends. If Facebook can show you ads for something you've been meaning to buy before you even search for it, imagine what Meta can do with the amount of information that it'll have access to. Now, think about how useful this data will be to your employer if they start forcing you to use Metaverse for work. Will your boss be able to monitor when you're logged on, what you're doing while you're logged on, how long you stayed in a particular virtual place doing a particular thing? What about schools? Will they be able to monitor your child's attention levels, looking at their eye movements, their breathing patterns, figuring out how focused they are, plugging all of this into algorithms. I mean, will your job interviews be done in metaverse? Think about how much real-time data the company can collect on you during the interview. Polygraph tests, for example, are notoriously inaccurate, and they're even inadmissible as evidence in court, but yet police still use them in interrogations, and people still think that they're real. So imagine some new virtual lie detector company claiming that they can use metaverse data to detect if someone is lying in a job interview or a meeting. The creepy potential for this is insane. But what I really want to know is, who asked for this anyway? What big problem in your life is metaverse supposed to solve for you? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and feel free to share it on whatever privacy-raping social media platforms you happen to use. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time, outside of the metaverse.